Mark Majodina from the South African Weather Service. Mark, welcome. Just a quick one. What role do you play in the Arctic journeys, and explain to us why it's actually so cold up there?
Thank you very much, and good morning to the viewers. First and foremost, we are having these voyages using the ship, the Gallus, to especially Antarctica. We have Gulf Island and Marion Island. The main reason is we're busy monitoring the weather. We have weather stations collecting weather information over there. We're also deploying weather buoys all the time, collecting this information, which in turn is fed into models. And with that, we are able to give these weather forecasts that we've just had now. We need all that input data. Why it's so cold in Antarctica and much warmer here? Main reason is that we need to think of the Earth. It's a sphere. The areas around the equator are much closer to the sun, and as a result, they get much warmer. Now, the ones that are further away, like the polar regions, Antarctica in our case, it's further away, it's much cooler, temperatures often sub-zero, hence the freezing when we go there.
If you think about, like you said now, it's so much further away, the Antarctic. How does the weather at the Arctic affect us, and weather changes along the South Pole? How does it affect us here in South Africa?
Thank you. Well, it's very interesting. If you actually think of the El Nino phenomenon, which is happening in the Pacific Ocean, tropical Pacific Ocean, the warming there is associated with dry conditions here, and vice versa. If you think of the thermal gradient, the temperature differences between where we are and Antarctica, because of these temperature differences, it determines the circulation moving around. So if there are any changes in the temperatures over the Antarctica, obviously it affects the circulation over us. We might end up with warmer temperatures, dry spells, or even floods later on. Yes.
Thank you very much, and Mark. There you have it. All these dry spells and everything else, all the threats that we're experiencing in South Africa is actually linked with many other factors coming in from the South Pole and the Arctic. That was Mark Majodina from the South African Weather Service. It's back to you guys in studio.